Accused Sohail Rana and his wife Shopna Khatun sentenced to death in Ramisa murder case. The verdict is strong exemplary message for a society against child abuse, say people from various walks of life. Verdict in Ramisa murder case delivered in fastest time in country's history following all legal procedures, says Law Minister. Recommendation to be made to Attorney General to expedite hearing in the High Court for swift implementation of this verdict, says Home Minister. Budget session of 13th Jatiyo সংসদ begins. Finance Minister to present proposed budget for 2026-27 fiscal on June 11. Budget session to continue till July 9. No alternative to building a skill-based, technology-driven and employment-oriented education system instead of certificate-based education system to face technological revolution, says Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. Commission to be formed to restructure banking sector, says Information and Broadcasting Minister. Israel attacks Lebanon and Gaza, ignoring ceasefire. At least 20 killed. And Bangladesh Cricket Board elections held. Tamim Iqbal elected president in director's vote. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is News at 10 on BTV News. I am Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. We just heard the highlights. Let's move on to the details of those and other stories. The Dhaka Metropolitan Children's Violence Suppression Tribunal today convicted Sohail Rana and his wife Shopna Akhtar and sentenced them to death in child Ramisa rape and murder case. Judge Masroor Salehin of the tribunal pronounced the verdict this morning. The tribunal also fined Sohail Rana Taka 5 lakh and Shopna Akhtar Taka 2 lakh. Security was tightened ahead of the verdict with the deployment of 3 additional platoons of police in and around the court premises in addition to the regular 2 platoons. The tribunal framed charges against Sohail Rana and his wife Shopna Akhtar on June 1 and completed legal arguments on June 4, paving the way for the verdict within a week of the indictment. Ramisa, a Class 2 student of Popular Model High School, was allegedly raped and beheaded by her neighbor Sohail Rana and his flat in the Millat camp area of Pallavi on May 19. Her father filed the case the following day. Police submitted a charge sheet on May 24 against alleged rapist and killer Sohail Rana and his wife and alleged accomplice Shopna Akhtar. The tribunal framed charges in the case on June 1 while it completed recording the depositions of prosecution witnesses in a single day on June 2. 16 of the 18 listed witnesses testified and were subsequently cross-examined by the defense on that day. State-appointed defense counsel Musa Kalimullah later cross-examined all the witnesses. On June 3rd, the 2 accused made their self-defense statements before the court. In the case over the rape and murder of child Ramisa in Pallavi of the capital, the court has sentenced the main convict Sohail Rana and his accomplice wife Shopna Akhtar to death. The verdict sentencing the 2 to death in the Ramisa murder case drew mixed reactions, including relief and emotion at the court premises. From human rights activists and lawyers to ordinary people, many said that the verdict is not only justice for a murder case but also a strong and exemplary message for a society against child abuse. In particular, it has further strengthened the belief that prompt investigation and trial are possible in cases involving child abuse. Ramisa's father, Abdul Hannan Mullah, was present in the court when the verdict was delivered. Expressing satisfaction with the judgment in the case involving the killing of his innocent daughter, He demanded the swift implementation of the verdict. In the past, questions have been raised regarding justice in many cases of child rape and murder in Bangladesh. In that context, many believe that the verdict in the Ramisa murder case is not merely the conclusion of a single case, but also a message that has shaken the society. Ramisa will never return to school, nor will her small world return. But if this verdict creates fear among offenders, restores confidence in the justice system, and helps keep even one child safe, then that will be the greatest justice for Ramisa. Law Minister Mohammad Asaduzzaman said the verdict in the Ramisa murder case is delivered in the fastest time in the history of Bangladesh, mentioning that the judgment is completed in just 6 working days following all legal procedures. He said the case documents will be sent to the High Court within 7 days for the death reference hearing. The minister made these remarks today at a press briefing at the Secretariat after the verdict in the Ramisa murder case. He said several sensitive cases, including those of Ramisa, Aisha and Rakib, are being considered for fast-track processing. Mohammad Asaduzzaman also said Ramisa murder case could be finally resolved in the High Court within 3 months. The Law Minister added that laws alone cannot solve everything. Social awareness and collective efforts are needed to eliminate such heinous crimes from the society. Asaduzzaman said earlier such cases were tried in the Women and Children Repression Prevention Tribunal, but now a special Child Violence Repression Tribunal has been established to give priority to such cases. This tribunal will handle only cases of child rape and violence, he added. Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed has said the government will recommend to the Attorney General that the hearing in the High Court be expedited so that the verdict in the child Ramisa rape and murder case can be implemented quickly. He said that the High Court will deliver its verdict promptly. He made the remarks today while briefing journalists in the front of his office at the Ministry of Home Affairs at the Secretariat. The existing issues along the Bangladesh-India border will receive priority at the BGB-BSF Director General level meeting scheduled to be held in India from June 8 to 11. The Home Minister said that discussions are also continuing at the diplomatic level to resolve these issues. He added that the Border Guard Bangladesh BGB remains active along the border to prevent push-ins. The Home Minister also said that police personnel will be rewarded for several recent achievements, including the arrest of the accused in the Ramisa murder case and the submission of the charge sheet within a short period of time, as well as for their overall performance in carrying out their duties. The second session, also known as the budget session of the 13th Jatiyo সংসদ, began today. The House began in the afternoon with Speaker M. Hafizuddin Ahmed in the chair. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman attended the session. Speaking under Rule 300, Law Minister Mohammad Asaduzzaman expressed satisfaction over the death sentences awarded to 2 convicts in the Ramisa murder case. Earlier, during the question-answer session, State Minister for Power, Energy and Mineral Resources, Iqbal Hasan Mahmood, said the government has taken necessary measures to meet the country's electricity demand. He said there is no shortage of electricity in the country. The minister has recommended a special parliamentary committee expanding Bangladesh's strategic fuel reserves to ensure a minimum 3 months storage capacity and diversifying import sources to strengthen the country's energy security. The 10-member committee comprised 5 lawmakers from the ruling party and 5 from the opposition. Replying to a question, State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Yasir Khan Chaudhry said the present government is not interfering in the media. He said the government under the leadership of the Prime Minister is ensuring freedom of the press. At the beginning of the sitting, a 5-member panel of chairpersons was nominated for the budget session. The panel members are Salima Rahman, M. Usman Farooq, Zainul Abidin, Shahjahan Muhammad and Shahjahan Chaudhry. They will preside over the House in the absence of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. Later, Jatiya সংসদ today adopted a condolence motion expressing profound shock at the death of 16 former ministers, state ministers and members of parliament, as well as some noted personalities. Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed Bir Bikram moved the motion, which was passed following observance of a 1-minute silence and a munajat conducted by Whip ABM Ashrafuddin Nizam. The House was adjourned until 3 p.m. tomorrow. The first budget session and the second session of the 13th Parliament is scheduled to conclude on July 9. The decision was taken at the third meeting of the Business Advisory Committee today, with the Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed Bir Bikram in the chair. Leader of the House and Prime Minister Tariq Rahman participated in the meeting. The committee discussed the allocation of time and duration of the second session, which will primarily focus on the national budget for the 2026-27 fiscal. Following detailed deliberations, the committee decided to allocate a total of 40 hours for the general discussion on the budget. It was also decided that, except on public holidays, parliamentary sittings will commence at 3 p.m. every day. However, the committee proposed holding 2 sittings a day from June 27 to June 30 to facilitate the completion of parliamentary business within the stipulated time frame. The committee also authorized the Speaker to make any necessary changes regarding the duration of sittings and the number of working days if required. Members were informed that a total of 3,228 questions had been submitted for the session, including 191 questions for the Prime Minister and 3,037 questions for other ministers. In addition, the Parliament Secretariat has received 98 notices under Rule 71 seeking discussions on matters of urgent public importance, while 293 notices have been submitted under Rule 131 relating to resolutions. Opposition leader Dr. Shafiqur Rahman, Dr. Khondakar Mosharraf Hussain, LGRD Minister Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir, Finance and Planning Minister Amir Khosrow Mahmood Chowdhury, Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed, Goishwar Chandra Roy, Chief Whip Muhammad Nurul Islam, Law Minister Muhammad Asaduzzaman, Deputy Leader of the Opposition Syed Abdullah Muhammad Tahir, ATM Azharul Islam, Opposition Chief Whip Muhammad Nahid Islam and Muhammad Naushad Zamir attended the meeting. Deputy Speaker Barrister Kaisar Kamal also attended the meeting at the Speaker's special invitation. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman called for developing a skill and technology-based, practical and job-oriented education system in the country instead of certificate-based education. He said this while addressing the inaugural session of a training program on job-oriented and technical education for teachers at the Bangladesh-China Friendship Conference Center in the capital this morning. National University NU organized the training program with the theme "We will take job-oriented education." The Prime Minister said the current government has already started the work of making the education curriculum from primary to the highest level pragmatic and technology-based. He emphasized on reducing the unemployment rate of highly educated people, saying despite attaining the highest academic certificates, many remain unemployed due to lack of practical skills. To overcome this situation, the government is taking effective steps to increase apprenticeships, internships and industry-academia collaboration. Highlighting the government's various initiatives to develop young people as entrepreneurs, Tariq Rahman said a decision has been taken to provide seed funding or innovation grants through a competitive process to commercialize innovative business ideas in colleges and universities to create business entrepreneurship from the campus. As a result, young people will be able to create employment themselves instead of chasing jobs, he added.
দেশের তরুণ সম্প্রদায়ের প্রতি আমার আহ্বান, নিজেদেরকে যথাযোগ্যভাবে গড়ে তুলতে পারলে তোমরাই হবে আগামী দিনের সমৃদ্ধ, স্বনির্ভর ও মানবিক বাংলাদেশের নির্মাতা। বাংলা এবং ইংরেজির পাশাপাশি তৃতীয় আরেকটি ভাষা শিখতে পারলে দেশে বিদেশে কোথাও আমাদের ভবিষ্যৎ প্রজন্মের কর্মসংস্থানের সমস্যা হবার কথা নয় ইনশাআল্লাহ। জনগণের কাছে দায়বদ্ধ এই সরকার একটি জ্ঞান ও মেধাভিত্তিক রাষ্ট্র এবং সমাজ করতে চায়। আমি দৃঢ়ভাবে বিশ্বাস করি আমরা যদি ঐক্যবদ্ধভাবে কাজ করি তাহলে আমাদের যে অগ্রযাত্রা আমরা প্রত্যাশা করি সেই অগ্রযাত্রাকে কেউ ইনশাআল্লাহ রুদ্ধ করতে পারবে না। আসুন আমরা সবাই মিলে এমন একটি কর্মমুখ শিক্ষা ব্যবস্থা গড়ে তুলি যা কিনা শুধু সনদ প্রদান করবে না, বরং দেশে দক্ষ মানব সম্পদও সৃষ্টি করবে, জনসংখ্যাকে জনসম্পদে রূপান্তরিত করবে। শিক্ষা শুধু চাকরিজীবী তৈরি করবে না, বরং তৈরি করবে নতুন উদ্যোক্তা। শুধু অর্থনৈতিক প্রবৃদ্ধিই নয়, সামাজিক রূপান্তরের ভিত্তি নির্মাণ করবে।
Education Minister N.M. Ehsanul Haq Milon, Prime Minister's Advisor for Education Mahdi Amin, Secretary of Secondary and Higher Secondary Education Division Abdul Khalik, National University Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. A.S.M. Amanullah and Pre-Vice Chancellor Lutfur Rahman also spoke at the inaugural session. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zairuddin Shapon alleged the previous Awami League government committed serious wrongdoing by manipulating financial sector data using the Bureau of Statistics. He said a commission will be formed to reorganize the banking sector. The minister made these remarks while speaking at a seminar in the capital this morning. Economic Reporters Forum organized the seminar at its auditorium titled Governance in the Banking Sector and the Role of Media. Experts at the seminar emphasized the importance of presenting accurate financial data without creating public distrust among customers. The Information Minister said in the past, the true picture of the economy was often misrepresented. He added that due to a lack of good governance and accountability, the banking sector had become fragile. Zairuddin Shapon also urged the media to play the role of a true mirror in reflecting the real scenario of the economy. Economic Reporters Forum President Daulat Akhtar Mala, the Financial Express editor Shamsul Haq Zahid, Bangladesh Bank Deputy Governor Nurul Nahar and other senior officials from the financial sector attended the seminar. Speakers also stressed the need to protect the financial sector from the influence of oligarchs like a solemn group. Road Transport, Bridges and Railways Minister Sheikh Rabiul Alam has said that the current government is an accountable government and wants to work to fulfill the aspirations of the people. He made the remarks today at a public hearing on ensuring civic services and public awareness organized by the Dhaka South City Corporation DSCC in Dhanmondi in the capital. The minister said that Dhanmondi Lake will be made more attractive and aesthetically pleasing. Chaired by DSCC Administrator and Bir Muktijodda Abdul Salam, the function was also addressed by DSCC Chief Waste Management Officer Air Commodore Muhammad Mahbubur Rahman Talukdar. The DSCC Administrator sought the cooperation of citizens in establishing a people-friendly and accountable city corporation. And now, international